Hello and good afternoon, all of you juniors. This is Miss Philippi. I am here to talk to you guys about registering for your classes for next school year. So 2018-19 registration. To give you a brief overview of our registration timeline for this year, the process is pretty much the same as years past. You guys should be pretty familiar with it. We are first going to audit our transcripts. That's what we're going to do today. Then we are going to show you how to find and review the course catalog, and then also fill out the option sheets. The difference of what we're going to do this year is this year you're not just turning in your paper sheet to the counselors in your individual meetings with us. You guys are going to use this as a guide in order for you guys to come down and instead of calling you down to our offices and having individual meetings, we're going to be calling you down to the labs, the computer labs, and we're going to help guide you through choosing your class online. So that's what we're going to do. That's the difference this year. So once again, audit our transcripts today. You're going to review the course catalog, fill out option sheets. You guys are going to do that on February 8th, Thursday of this week. You're going to get those. And then starting February 14th through the 16th, all of the counselors are going to be calling you into the computer labs to choose your classes online. Also within that, we're going to have our meeting like we usually do, where you guys can ask us questions about what classes you should be taking and all of that. So we're not going to get rid of that. We're just going to add that onto helping you choose your classes online. Okay? Cool. So everybody that has been here since freshman year, we've done this every single year with you guys, so this should not be different. It should be very familiar to you. But for anybody who's new or kind of forgot about the process, today you should be getting your 4-year plus plans. That's this sheet. You should have gotten your transcript. Looks like this. I'll zoom out here. And then also your academic history that looks like this. Okay, quickly. Your transcript and your academic history are pretty much the same sheet of paper. It has the same exact stuff on it. But the academic history is what we're going to use because it separates out your classes by subject area. It's easier to read and audit. I always want you guys to have your transcript, though, so you know what it looks like, because this is the sheet of paper that's going to colleges. So everyone should know what their transcript looks like, know what's on it, if there's anything wrong with it. You are the other set of eyes on this besides us counselors in order to make sure that this is completely accurate to send out to colleges, and it's so relevant to you guys because you guys are going to be doing it in the fall. You guys are going to be sending out these in the fall, so please really do go through this and make sure that this is accurate and up to date of the things that you want on here, okay? So moving forward, and I'll also just briefly go over this sheet for anybody who can't remember or is new. The 4-year plus plan. This top left box here are the credits broken down. Underneath that are the assessments and other state requirements or other requirements for graduation. So your assessments, community service hours, Washington State history. And then on the right-hand side is the high school plan. And you guys have done this every year, but nice, we can cross these off. We're going to forget about 9th through 11th grade. And we are going to then fill out the 12th grade box in a minute here after we go through this. And I'm going to try and do this as quick as possible. And then what we're going to try and do is counselors are going to be kind of floating around today throughout classes to answer any questions that you might have in regards to the credits and how that shows up and stuff like that. Okay? So what I want you to do is actually go this way. We're going to have our paper side by side. I'll zoom in here. So just focusing on this top left box, how it's broken down is LA is on top, broken down by semester. And then your histories are broken down. And then grouped by math, science, PE and Health, Fine Arts, CTE, which we also call OC-Ed, and then World Languages, electives, total credits. How your academic history is broken down is usually OC-Eds are up here at the top along with health. Then your LA classes, math. Art should be between math and PE here. The student obviously doesn't have it. We'll go over that in a second. PE classes, and then goes into social studies, and then science and world language. Other random electives might be down here. Okay, so bringing this over. So everybody write your name up at the top. And then I'm going to go through, so this is the LA section. I have just a random students that I've blacked out the names. So this student has taken and gotten A's in all of her LA 9 and 10 classes. And just so you guys know, yes, it's after the semester, but semester grades haven't been stored yet on your transcripts. So they're not going to populate on here. So what I want you guys to do, and I'll go over and give you an example in here in a second, but I want you guys to act as though, yes, semester is done. This is, I passed it or I didn't pass it. And that's how I want you guys to fill this out. Okay? So for example, this student passed LA 9 and 10. I'm going to say done in the check these in the done column. And then I also passed LA 11A. It's just not on here, but I know I passed it. And for 11B, I'm in second semester right now, so I technically still need it. So anything that you're in right now, I want you to check in the need column, but put an asterisk by it because you're finishing it, you probably will get it. Okay? So then obviously LA 12 is next year. World History is over here. This student got an A minus and A minus in World History 1, 2, and 3. Okay. She also passed US History A this semester, this last semester, and is in it right now. So check in the need, asterisk. Government is next year, need column. Okay. Then kind of scooting back over here. For the math section, this student had Algebra 2 and Pre-Cal. They passed both. So technically they have 2 credits. Oh, let me change that. That student is in calculus this semester and they passed it at the semester time. So they only have 2.5. And so there are 2 columns here. What I want you guys to notice, there's the graduation requirements column, just for diploma purposes. Those are the numbers. And then there's the 4-year college column. If you notice, there's an asterisk here in the science and the math. Down here it says most colleges want to see 4 years in math and science. So I'm going to go by that column for my reference. So I'm going to go by 4 because that's what my college is going to want to see. So I still have 1.5 to go. And I have an asterisk because I'm in it. And science. For all of you guys, 4 science credits might be a lot for all of you. How I advise students is if you are going into the math, science, STEM related fields in college, that's what you're going to major in, then yes, go 4. If you are not, then 3 is fine and go ahead and just do 3. I am not, the student is not, so we're just going to go by 3. And then looking over here, they took chemistry, biology, and then forensics and astronomy. They have 3 and they're done, and they don't need any more. Looking over here, they have health up in the top left, so that can be checked, done. And then down here under math, the student took PE, got an A minus. And then if you guys look here, I'll zoom in a little bit. If you guys look here, PEW, Directed Athletics, that's what that stands for. They don't have a credit, but they have a P. That means the student turned in a PE waiver. So if you guys have any PE waivers, that's what it's going to look like on your transcript. You don't get a half credit for it. You just waive the requirement. So technically, this student has met the full PE requirement. Okay, so they have 1, and they need a half more. Okay, then Fine Arts. Like I said before, this student, it would show up in between math and PE. They didn't take it. So this student needs 1 credit of art in here. Okay, and then CTE, Occ-Ed, is up here in the top corner. So they took this /culinary is baking and pastry here. That's the other name for it. That's what it's going to show up on your transcript if you've taken that class. So this student has a half. They also took graphic design. So they're going to also have a half credit of Occ-Ed. So they have a full and they need a half. And then this student is in woodworking this semester, so I'm gonna asterisk that. Okay, foreign language, you guys don't need that to graduate. So you guys can mark it or not mark it, that's up to you. This is for your reference. And then for electives, I tell students always strike through this and cross it off. And the reason being, and I say this every year in classes, I only care, as the counselor, I only care that you guys are getting these credits specifically, and you are hitting 21 total for graduation. Okay? That's what I care about. If you guys hit all of these credits and you get a total of 21, then these will fill in themselves, and it doesn't matter what specific electives you're taking, because that fill in and you'll automatically, by default, get those elective credits. So don't worry about counting those up specifically. That doesn't matter. Okay? So just worry about your total credits in the graduation requirement column, and then you can also see your total cumulative credits here as the total. Okay? Okay, so moving on into the assessments and the other graduation requirements. This student in the bottom left or right corner, this student has met in LA, math, science, and they met their Washington State history. So I'm going to say yes, yes, yes. If you have completed your service learning, the 60 hours, and you've turned them into your counselor, it will show up as a line item on your transcript or in your academic history. It'll say SVC learning met. And it'll say service learning hours met, and then you'll have a 0 and a P for pass. This student doesn't, as most probably don't. There are only a few that usually turn them in this early. So this student still needs 60. Oh, no, I'm done. They still need 60. Okay? And then filling the rest of the sheet out. So what you guys are going to do, if you remember from years past, you're going to use what you have left in this need column, and you're going to fill in the rest of this box. So this represents your 6-period day school year. It's already pre-filled in that you're going to take your LA and your government. So what you guys just need to do here is decide if you're going to take regular Gov, just leave it, or if you're going to take AP. And I think this student's going to take AP Gov. And AP Gov is a full year, so you're going to fill that in. Let me zoom in here. Okay. And if you noticed, this student still needs art, a half PE, the math, The LA and the Gov is already there, okay? So here, I'm going to pre-fill in math. I'm going to pre-fill in art. OCAD will be done this year because I am taking it this semester. And then PE, I don't want to take a PE class. I'm going to waive that other PE like I did before, or the student did before. So what I want you guys to do, if you are thinking about waiving it, do your counselors a favor and put a W next to it and circle it and talk to them about it so that they have a heads up too. Because we always wonder, like, oh, this kid needs PE, I got to get it in their schedule. Whereas you don't want to take it in your schedule, but we don't know that you're going to want to waive it. So write that a W next to that if you want to waive. And then I think I'm going to take another world language too, just to get in like a third year of it. Okay, so I actually have two empty spots. You guys are going to get the course descriptions on Thursday and the course options with your option sheets, so you guys can then fill on specific classes within that on Thursday. Okay? So that is it for your plans. So you guys are going to keep these 3 sheets of paper. You're going to keep these, please, and you are going to have them and bring them to your meetings with your counselors. So keep these. Once again, timeline, we just audited our transcripts. On Thursday, February 8th, you guys are going to get the catalogs and fill out the option sheets. And then February 14th through the 16th, you guys are going to get passes to meet your counselors and fill out your classes online. Okay? Cool. Thank you. We'll see you guys on Thursday.